In a galaxy where evolution had perfected the art of killing, humanity was an error. Across thousands of star systems, species had risen through violence. Some bore natural armor stronger than forged alloys. Others possessed multiple limbs, razor talons, or reflexes measured in microseconds. Entire civilizations had been shaped by endless war, their biology itself a weapon. And then there were humans. No claws, no fangs, no exoskeleton. Just fragile skin, brittle bones, and an overactive brain. When Khadavi Fletcher arrived at Celestial Aegis Academy, the laughter followed him down the landing platform before his boots had even touched alien soil. He heard it, he always heard it. The towering draconids watched with open disdain. The four-armed Varelians observed him with something closer to pity. Even the instructors, hardened veterans of interstellar campaigns, regarded him as a political concession-proof. The Galactic Council wanted to appear inclusive. Humans, they believed, were barely out of their planetary cradle. Earth had only recently stepped onto the interstellar stage. Their wars had been brutal, yes, but primitive. Chemical explosives, ballistic weapons, atmospheric aircraft. Compared to the ancient war doctrines of the galaxy's elder species, humanity was an infant. Khadavi did not argue, he did not defend his species. He simply observed, and that was the first thing the Academy misunderstood about him. They assumed silence was weakness. For a human, silence was calculation. From the first day, Khadavi realized something crucial. Every other species at the Academy relied on what evolution had given them. The Draconids trusted their strength. The Varelians trusted the coordination between their multiple limbs. The Sithari relied on camouflage and ambush instincts refined over millennia. They trained to become harder versions of what they already were. Khadavi, on the other hand, had nothing biological to lean on, so he leaned on something else: patterns. The first major trial was the zero-gravity gauntlet, a rotating labyrinth of magnetic corridors, shifting platforms, and timed laser grids. It was designed to push cadets beyond their physical limits. For most species, it was brutal but manageable. For a human body unaccustomed to prolonged zero-G combat, it was a nightmare. Khadavi slammed into a rotating wall within the first 30 seconds. Laughter echoed through the observation deck. He lost orientation twice. His breathing grew ragged. His muscles burned as he struggled to stabilize himself. He finished near the middle of the ranking board. On paper, it was unimpressive, but numbers rarely tell the full story. While others had relied on instinctive spatial awareness or raw explosive strength to power through the obstacles, Khadavi had slowed down after his initial failures. He stopped racing the course. He began studying it. The laser grids flickered on a fractional delay point 4 seconds longer than regulation in Sector 3. The rotating platforms in Corridor 6 exhibited a micro-wobble at predictable intervals due to a calibration drift. The magnetic boots issued to cadets experienced a recharge latency after repeated burst activations. He memorized these irregularities. The next day, during an unscheduled practice session, Chalbli ran the gauntlet again. This time, he wasted no motion. He did not move the fastest. He moved at the right moments. He crossed the finish line using less energy than nearly any cadet before him. A senior instructor, a scarred veteran of the Carthuan sieges, reviewed the telemetry and wrote a quiet note in his evaluation file. Human does not overpower obstacles, solves them. The academy still didn't take him seriously, but someone had begun paying attention. The next major evaluation was the Broken Arrow simulation, infamous tactical scenario testing command decisions under overwhelming pressure. A small unit was positioned in defensible terrain with limited supplies, facing a superior enemy force descending rapidly. Standard doctrine across most species was identical: fortify, entrench, and hold position as long as possible. It almost always ended in defeat. Chalbli was assigned command of a mixed species squad that openly resented him. "Try not to get us killed, human," one muttered before deployment. He ignored them. Instead of reviewing weapon loadouts like his peers, Chalbli spent his preparation hours studying topographical data, wind simulations, sensor blind zones, thermal distortion patterns, subsurface geological instability. He wasn't preparing to fight the enemy. He was preparing to fight the battlefield. When the Valari Marauder simulations began their assault, everything unfolded as expected. The enemy advanced in heavy formation, overwhelming in number and firepower. His squad looked to him, waiting for the standard command: dig in, brace, hold. Instead, Chalbli gave a different order: abandon primary trench line, scatter into secondary zones. Maintain silence. Let them take the position. Shock rippled across his squad. "That's suicide." "No," he replied calmly. "This is the Valari forces stormed the abandoned trenches, claiming apparent victory within minutes. Then their sensors began malfunctioning. Their flanks encountered resistance where none should have existed. Their communications experienced delay spikes. Thermal readings misdirected them into unstable crystal formations Chalbli had identified hours earlier. He had divided his small force into mobile harassment cells positioned at choke points, the enemy's doctrine considered irrelevant. He turned their momentum into confusion. He turned their strength into vulnerability. By the time the simulation ended, the overwhelming force had collapsed under internal disarray. Minimal friendly casualties. Objective secured. In the debriefing chamber, silence replaced mockery. The tactical replay illuminated Chalbli's decision: non-linear, adaptive, anticipatory. He hadn't reacted to the enemy. He had predicted them. For the first time, several cadets stopped seeing a fragile human body. They began seeing a dangerous mind. But the true test of Chalbli Fletcher would not come in simulation. It would come during the Crucible. The Crucible was not theoretical. It was a live-fire field exercise on a barren moon orbiting a dying star. 2 companies. Real weapons. Real consequences. Alpha Company, Bravo Company. One objective beacon at the center of a canyon-scarred wasteland. Bravo Company was led by Xyla Vaughn, a draconid prodigy engineered through generations of selective warbreeding. Xyla had never lost a tactical evaluation. His species believed in decisive dominance, strike hard, strike fast, crush resistance before it adapts. Alpha Company, Cadavi's company, was not built for dominance. They were built to endure. As the exercise began, Xyla executed a textbook assault orbital insertion, timed with artillery suppression. An armored advance through the Central Valley, air superiority drones locking down escape routes. Alpha's front lines buckled within minutes. Panic spread through open channels. Cadavi remained calm, because he had expected this. He had studied Xyla as carefully as he had studied the terrain in Broken Arrow. The draconid favored overwhelming first strikes. Psychological intimidation, swift closure, victory quickly. Cadavi understood something fundamental about predators. The faster they expect to win, the less prepared they are for delay. 48 hours before the crucible began, Cadavi had spent a sleepless night reviewing astronomical charts of the moon's unstable stars. A minor solar flare was projected during the exercise window, short-lived, but intense enough to distort sensor arrays for several minutes. He built his entire strategy around that brief blindness. As Bravo forces drove Alpha backward, Cadavi issued a coded transmission. Esecute Chimera. A fraction of Alpha continued, resisting visibly, selling the illusion of collapse, explosions, retreat, disarray. The bulk of Alpha forces, however, had already begun a silent maneuver through deep canyon networks, mapped but considered too treacherous for coordinated movement. Treacherous for most species, not for a unit trained in disciplined adaptation. When the solar flare struck, Bravo's sensor advantage vanished, and in that moment of blindness, Cadavi struck. Alpha Company emerged behind the objective beacon. No frontal assault, no brute contest of strength, just precision timing. By the time Xyla realized the beacon had been captured, the outcome was irreversible. For the first time in his career, the draconid prodigy had been outmaneuvered, not by superior force, by superior foresight. Back at Celestial Aegis Academy, the commendation ceremony felt different, not celebratory, contemplative, because something fundamental had shifted. As Commandant Thrax affixed the Starburst Medal for tactical innovation to Cadavi Fletcher's uniform, he leaned closer and spoke in a voice only the human could hear. Claws break. Armor cracks. Instinct can be misled. But a mind that refuses to surrender reshapes the battlefield itself. That day, the Academy stopped laughing at humans. But the wider galaxy had yet to learn the lesson. And it would learn it soon, because beyond Academy walls, beyond simulations and controlled exercises, a real war was gathering in the dark between stars. And when it arrived, the galaxy would discover that humanity's greatest weapon was never strength. It was imagination.